Hi there, I am live in Torquay with Speedo Mick, the Scouser, who is walking from Scotland to Cornwall for charity in aid of disadvantaged youth. I've just been driving alongside him on the South Devon Expressway, and now we've got the chance to catch up with him in Torquay just as he arrives to ask him a couple of questions. If anyone's got any questions during this live, give me a shout and I'll read them out. If not, I'm just going to lead the way. So, Speedo Mike, your real Speedo Mick, your real name is Michael Cullen.
Yes.
And why are you walking from Scotland to Cornwall?
Well, we're trying to. Well, what the purpose of this walk? It's turned into. It was a 2,000-mile walk. Now it's a 2,400-mile walk. It's to give £250,000 back to charity along the route in England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. So that's what we're doing. I've started on the 31st of May in the Outer Hebrides on Stornoway, the Isle of Lewis, and we walked through Scotland, and then we've gone over to Ireland, walked around Ireland. I say we. There's no van or there's no entourage here. It's just me, my little legs, my knickers basically, and then we walked around Ireland. We've gone over to Wales. Then we walked through Wales, and now we're walking down to Land's End. And then we're going to walk back down again to London. And so we're not stopping at Land's End, you know what I mean? So we're going to walk back down to London, and then I'm going to walk up to the northeast to Newcastle, and then I'll hook around to Liverpool, eventually finish in mid-December.
And so how many miles is that in total?
It's 2,400 miles. Yeah, it's 2,400 miles. It was a 2,000-mile walk, but when I began the walk, the people who set it up said actually it's 2,000. We've just rethinking, you know, we looked at it again, and it was 2,200. And then I added another couple of 100 miles on just to go to Land's End, because I wanted to go down to Cornwall. There's a lot of people asking from Cornwall, oh, why aren't you coming here? And he gave me so much support last time. I thought I'll pop down that way.
Brilliant. You've got some really nice messages here, people showing their support. I can see your message, Leah Sullivan. That's lovely. So can I ask, how come you're doing it in Speedos?
Well, I've been doing it for about 8 years. First of all, I swam the English Channel. You need to have a pair of Speedos. I didn't know that. You need to wear a pair of Speedos, not have a pair, but wear a pair of Speedos. So I think it's a healthy, a safety thing in case anything swims up your shorts and someone panics. I don't know, but you have to wear a pair of Speedos, and I didn't know that. I'd been training for 9 months, and then when I found that out, I thought, there's no way I'm not wearing a pair of Speedos. Anyway, I got over myself when I did, and I was lucky enough to manage to swim the English Channel, and then I went to Everton's football ground in me Speedos, and I felt short of the fundraising target I was looking for the homeless charity I was raising for. I was short £1,000. People were giving me money there, do you know what I mean? When I was going, you know, because they had channel swim there, I wanted everybody to know I'd swam the English Channel. I was an no-roper, I was an alcoholic, I was a drug addict, I was homeless, I'd lost my self-respect, I'd lost my home, I'd lost my family, lost absolutely anything that meant anything to me through addiction. And so this is why I'm doing the stuff what I'm doing, because somebody give me a hand up, and I wouldn't be here only for them. So I'm just doing exactly the same. I'm just retaining, I'm just following their example. This is not like new stuff. This is maybe the knickers might be being in someone in the knickers, or in the, you know, it might be a little bit different, but I'm just trying to give a little bit back, because I lost me hope and me will to live basically a long time ago. I'm 19 years by the way now, over 19 years clean and sober. I've got my life back, I've got my family back, I've got my self-respect back, I've got my dignity back. So if there's anything, if there's any message to go out there, it's that you can recover from drugs and alcohol, or mental health, which I had a lot of as well because of childhood trauma. you can recover from that if you get the support. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do to the communities in England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. It's not about borders, it's about people. You know what I mean? So that's what's happening here, man. We're trying to spread the love. And besides that, you've heard the hoots and what you're not going to see is the smiles, and you know, and it seems to raise people's spirits when they see, you know, me walking down in me drawers. Like, it just seems to make them laugh. And we need a good laugh now. We've just been through a pandemic, everybody's been locked down, and now everyone's starting to come out. So I'm here to hopefully raise a few spirits, as well as raise a few pounds for charity and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
And obviously you mentioned you were in a really difficult place with getting sober and clean and all those, you know, really hard challenges. Are there any charities or individuals that you'd recommend people to reach out to who might be in a similar position to the one that you were in?
Well, I went to where I ended up getting help from a friend who I used to drink and use drugs with, and he turned up one day. He was 2 years sober, he looked great, do you know what I mean? He had a car and I was just like, you know, what's happened to you? You know what I mean? And he said, well, so he went to fellowships, he went to a couple of fellowships, and he said to me, you know what I mean, I've got the solution to your problems. So I went to meetings, I went to AA meetings and I went to NA meetings, do you know what I mean? And you know, there's millions of us who are clean now, you know, don't use any drinks or any drugs or any mind altering substances whatsoever. There's millions of us, so it works, man. The proof's in the pudding. So what I'd say is to reach out, and even if you admit it to a family member, or just the services out there, you know what I mean? You know, they're hard to come by nowadays, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? To get the support straight away is difficult. People are having to wait, but so the window of opportunity, when the window of opportunity opens for someone, they get the willingness and they want to change their lives, the willingness to change their lives and to try and you know, get back to the person that they used to be. They've got to be supported immediately. You can't be waiting saying come back in 6 weeks. 6 weeks time, that willingness is going to be gone. You know what I mean? So that's, just ask for help. That's what I'd say. Ask for help. Get honest. Do you know what I mean? Everybody usually knows anyway that you're in trouble, but you pretend that, you know, they don't know. And you know what I mean? Addiction, it's massive. It's a monster, man. It's bigger than me. And in the end, I fought all my life until I was 34 years of age. I just thought I was going to fix it myself. Tomorrow I'm going to work it out, and I never had the answers. I had to get the answers off somebody else. So in the end, I had to surrender. I had to stop fighting and surrender. For the first time in my life, I surrendered, and I'm getting emotional about it now. But you know what I mean? I handed myself over to other people who'd obviously found the solution, but getting trust back and finding your trust in people and all that, and belief in yourself. It's difficult. It takes a long time, but you just have to they give you loads of little things to do, one day at a time, one footstep at a time. Do you know what I mean? You know, phone us up before you. There's loads of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Let go. And anyway, there's loads of things you can do, but first thing you need to do is ask for help and then accept it. So that's.
Thanks so much for sharing that. I think a lot of people will be really happy to hear that. I know you're on a really tight schedule. You're going to Tavistock tonight, which is miles away.
It is, yeah. But I'm not walking there. I'm not walking to Tavistock. I'm not walking to Tavistock. I'm walking. I've changed me route today, so I'm coming down here. I went 2 hours in the wrong direction, on the wrong road today, so we ended up back in the place I started, pretty much. Which was, what was that down there? Newton Abbot. I ended up back there 2 hours anyway, so I'm well late, I'm well behind, but it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? I'll get where I need to be getting
today.
Where
are you staying tonight then?
I'm in a bed and breakfast in
Torquay?
No, in Tavistock.
Oh, in Tavistock.
Yeah, so I'm going to walk as far as I can towards past
Torquay.
Yeah, past Torquay, to Ivy Bridge. I'm going to try and walk towards, get as close as I can to Ivy Bridge. Then I'll have to find someone. I'll have to ask for help on here and say, can someone give me a lift
You're going to hitchhike from Ivy Bridge to Tavistock?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
What time do you reckon you're going to be looking for a lift?
Well, round about 7 o'clock.
Alright, so if anybody around 7 o'clock happens to see Speedo Mick, he's not hard to miss. You'll see him walking along the side of the, can't remember the name of that road, but the one that goes from Exeter to Plymouth. He'll be along there, I imagine, and he'll be looking for a ride to Tavistock.
Speedo Mick page.
Speedo Mick page.
You'll be able to get the link. If you go on the Speedo Mick on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, the link's there for the Google Maps. Do you know what I mean? So you'll be able to just find out where I am.
So if anyone wants to take a hitchhiker on their commute home, I think this is a very, very charitable cause and a good one a good guy to give a lift to. I have one final question to you. Obviously, apart from Liverpool, you've seen so much of the UK during your travels, and I'm really keen to know the place that's made the biggest impression on you.
Well, do you know what? I can't really choose any one place, you know, but I was, you know what? I forget the name of it. I forget the name of the place, but it was in the Outer Hebrides, and it's classed as one of the top 10 beaches in the world.
Okay, Outer Hebrides.
Yeah, and if you just go on top 10 beaches, that comes up. Okay. It's next to like the Bahamas, and it was just. I forget the name. Anyway, it was fantastic. But then I've just walked through Wales. Honestly, it's just the heart of Wales is literally stunning. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, you've got Ireland as well.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, man. You know, it's a difficult one.
Any impressions on Devon?
Devon's beautiful. I love Devon. You know what I mean? We've come down here a few times for a few holidays. That was a few years ago and that now, but all I've had in Devon is the people just supporting me and just coming up. I had a lift this morning from the hotel to where I finished last night to walk. Then I got a lift from someone from Devon who gave me a lift back when I was 2 hours in the wrong direction, back to Newton Abbot. You know what I mean? So everyone's been lovely. They've been bringing me food and drinking. And they've been very generous as well. There's been a lot of people donating. You can donate. We're still raising, even though we're giving £250,000 out to charities along the route. We're still fundraising. You can donate on Speedo Mick's Giving Back to GoFundMe page as well. Can I just say, if there's any charities, any small charities in Devon who support mental health, this is what the Speedo Mick Foundation supports. Is mental health, disadvantaged young people and homelessness. If you support any of them criterias and you're a small charity and you're a registered charity, go onto the Speedo Mick Foundation website and you'll be able to apply for a grant. You know what I mean? Because there's still money there to be given out. Brilliant. So any small charities in Devon, we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to give you some money to help, because the reason why we're giving the grants out is because there's been a crisis, basically, especially for the small charities who they've been unable to fundraise. You know what I mean? They do fantastic work, fantastic services. You know what I mean? So they've already got their projects up and running. They've got service users already there. So they've been running low on financially. So that's why we're giving the money to the small charities. Do you know what I mean? Who do absolutely amazing work. And if it wasn't for them, do you know where A&E and the NHS would be overrun, man? It would not be able to cope, and it's because of these charities. That's why we're supporting them anyway. You know what I mean? They do, and I get loads of plaudits, you know what I mean, and stuff. But I mean, there's so many people out there who just don't ask for anything and just give. So anyway, that's what it's for.
Brilliant. Let's just get one full body shot of you.
Yeah, man.
Sign off.
Get hold of that.
All right, let's see what you've got. That is a look. Here we have Speedo Mick. He's in Torquay. We're very lucky to have him. Thanks so much for speaking with us.
My pleasure.
See ya.
Spread the love, man. Spread the love.